from NFL Network right here is my colleague from NFL Game Day Morning. I will say it because I love you, Steve Mariucci, the Silver Fox of the National Football League Network. Steve Mariucci is here live on the Rich Eisen Show.
I love you too, Rich.
What's up, Mooch? How are you? How are you?
I'm all discombobulated this weekend.
Why?
Well, because remember I stole your phone yesterday to call Gail?
You did, yes. By the way, in the middle of the third quarter of all these games yesterday, he just walks up to me and goes, you have your phone on you? I'm like, yeah. And he's like, can I call? I need to call Gail. I don't know where my phone is. Or you said something where you know where your phone is.
Okay, so when I flew down here on Friday night, I lost my phone.
I don't know where my phone is. You guys ever lose a phone?
No, it's like I feel naked. I mean, it's like, what do I do? And so that's why I'm stealing phones. Hey, I need to call home.
That's what you said. And he said, do you have her number in your phone? And I looked at it. I'm like, no, I don't. I'm like, how weird would it be if I had your wife's number in my phone?
Susie's number in my phone. What's the matter with you?
We all have Susie's number.
I mean, I put it in your phone. I put it in your phone now.
Your wife's phone number in my phone? Now I do. Now I have it.
Do you have your wife's number memorized? Like, how did you?
Yes, right.
Of course it's memorized. Don't you memorize your wife's phone number?
Well, yes, but that's about the only one.
But he literally said to me, he goes, you have her number in you have her number in your phone? You know, I'm like, no, actually I don't. And I just handed it to him. Like, how weird would it be if I did?
Because, like, if when we go to Munich, she's coming. Everybody's coming. You might need to call her and say, hey, where's Steve?
Mooch, that's not public knowledge yet.
Okay, so we may or may not go to Munich.
By the way, I'm so hoping there's another town by that name in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan that we can try to cover our tracks with.
Wow, hey, breaking news.
All I know is, hey, Rich, I know why Irv has 3 phones now. Okay.
How much tea is he going to spill?
That's not why,
How
Mooch.
much more tea can a man spill?
Hey,
one of those phones goes off every other show, right?
Goodness gracious. All right, the Cardinals just traded for Robbie Anderson.
Wow. Okay.
Really?
Well, we knew that was his last game.
We knew it was his last game.
But I didn't think he was going to Arizona, did you?
Why not? I mean, they got D-Hop back. They are offensively challenged.
Yeah.
Wow, and D-Hop's coming back next week.
He's coming back in 3 days.
Yeah, and Marquise Brown might be a little banged up. I don't think he's going to play this
Could be
week.
that, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
D-Hop's
Interesting.
And D-Hop's back, obviously.
D-Hop's back. 2-4 versus 2-4 on Thursday night. That's going to be...
That division is up for grabs, man.
It is. I know. You got 3 teams at 3-3. And the Cards are going to be the first team in to host a game on week number 7. They could join the 3-win party with a win right there.
Yeah, they will.
All right. Steve Mariucci, first order of business I want to talk with you about. Let's get to business. Is Green Bay. And, you know, I lone wolf my Jets yesterday in chesty fashion. Okay, I said it with my chest.
We heard all about it.
We did. And I just had a sense that the Jets, their young, talented players are beginning to get their sea legs under them and feel confident, and that they could go into Green Bay against a team that's been having problems offensively and then just gave up a whole ton of points in the second half in London, come out with a win. And they did. So, first of all, what do you think of my Jets? Mooch, what do you think of them?
Well, I've said many times this is a very young, talented team.
Yes.
They've been drafting well the last 2-3 years, right?
They sure have, yeah.
Good young coaches, the whole thing. I think they're a year ahead of themselves right now. I think they're really going to be good when the quarterback gets some experience.
Yes, sir.
Because they're so talented all the way around. Love the running backs, the receivers. They're just fighting, okay? Rewind a little bit. I'm not sure why a Packer team or a team that goes to London doesn't ask for the bye afterward. Think about that. Mm-hmm. Because they get a choice. They get a choice. If you're going to go to London, do you want to buy or not? And they chose no.
The Giants
they both chose no.
Right.
And you know how that time changes, gets you out of whack and everything. And I would want to buy after a London game, personally. They looked, I don't know what the word is, lethargic, or something was wrong. I think Aaron Rodgers is hurt.
Well, he was definitely moving his
we're getting more quarterbacks hitting helmets. It's like an epidemic right now.
I know.
Right? And so
that one happened at the end of the London game where he was trying to wind up for the
last
Hail
play of the
Mary.
game.
And I thought he would have some sort of elbow or shoulder problem, but he had a finger problem. And again, we are sitting here, it's week 7 now, and we have not gotten past the whole Davante Adams isn't here anymore and who's going to step up conversation. We are now a month and a half into the season, and it's clear that there's still something going on there. I'd like to play this soundbite from Aaron Rodgers after the Green Bay home loss to the Jets, and this is what he had to say on what the offense needs to do moving forward, and I'd like your interpretation of the comments. Rolling.
What is it that you think you guys need to be offensively? What do you need to do?
Simpler. Simplify some things. On the couple drives we did move the ball, it was very simple things. Very simple plays, no motion. So we need to look at everything and the guys that we got and what we can accomplish with them, and let's be smart about moving forward. Nobody works harder than Matt on the plan each week, and nobody comes with better ideas than him and his staff. But if it's not working, it's not because those guys aren't grinding. It's because we're not executing. And if we think we have the right players, then we need to simplify things. If you don't, then that's a whole other conversation.
Steve?
That sounded, I've heard that comment by a coach before. Simplify it. Because he obviously really likes Matt LaFleur and the scheme that he's been the MVP 2 years in a row. It's working for him.
Also because you could sense in his comments there, Steve, is that he knew when he said, talking about simplifying the offense, that it could be interpreted that he's throwing his coach under the bus, and his comments were then subsequently backed up by making sure nobody got that sense that he thinks the world of LaFleur and they're grinding.
Yeah.
But it's obvious that he's saying that simplifying it because when they moved the ball, there wasn't any motion. He's talking about the guys who's out there.
He's talking about the guys out. Yes, he's not talking about the coach at all. He's complimenting the system. He likes the system.
Right.
When you have new parts, they can't absorb and execute everything that a veteran quarterback can. He's been through it. He's smart. He knows it. These new guys, there's some intricacies about this offense that, rather than they have to stop and think, where am I lined up? What am I doing? What's my adjustment? It's an RPO. They run more RPOs than anybody in the league. Run pass option is a college thing. Aaron Rodgers is running the most college-like offense in the National Football League, if you can imagine that right now. And he's just saying, pare it down. If your volume of plays is 180 or 200, let's pare it down to 100 so we can practice everything another time and simplify it for the players that are out here. He's probably having to coach guys in the huddle about exactly what to do, reminders and alerts and adjustments and audibles and all of those things. So I think he's just saying, hey, we got a lot of new players. Let's just simplify it and just try to execute and not screw it up.
Well, my issue with this is not that he's saying it, because I think he's being very honest when he's saying that, is that I thought that at this point in time, this is when they're supposed to have gotten the simple things down, and now we can start expanding the playbook. Yes. I thought that by the back half of the season, Dobbs and the rest of this young, Christian Watson.
He's been hurt.
All these guys, I know that, but these kids would have been able to get it by now, and now we're going to expand it. And then by the end of the season, when it matters most, you're going to see the offense as similar as it possibly can be with these new players. Instead, Randall Cobb gets carted off yesterday, and it looked like when you see a veteran like that react the way that he did, it's like he's wondering, is my career over? That's the sense that I got, and it was heartbreaking to me to see that. But he's basically saying, let's get it simpler now.
Yeah.
That's a major alarm bell for me, especially when he's saying, if you don't think we have the right people here, then that's an entirely different conversation. Yeah. He's saying that going into week 7, Steve.
Yeah, it is a little bit alarming for Packer Nation, okay? Mm-hmm. We start talking about this when Davante Adams wasn't around anymore, and Marquez Valdes-Scantling isn't around anymore. And so it's like, okay, well, when are they going to draft? They're going to draft the first rounder? No, they didn't again. They drafted second and fourth and later and then added Sammy Watkins. Yeah. So it's, and then remember the frustration that Aaron had during training camp? He was thinking that these guys just aren't getting it fast enough. He was just, he wanted them to get it. And so what we thought could be a problem is turning out to be a problem.
Yes.
But what's exacerbated the problem is all these injuries. Not only Cobb, but Watson and Alan Lazard. And some of these guys have not been available to practice or play. That's why instead of progressing as the season goes on, they're going to have to reel it back in a little bit. See who's playing, and boy, figure out a way, because right now the Packers don't look like the Packers.
I'm telling you, man, and they don't have a bye week till week 14. It's the last possible bye week.
Yeah.
So, I
And
mean,
then the
Rodgers'
Vikings are-
hand, whatever he's doing with his hand.
That didn't look good because he.
And then I guess the practices that we're talking about, and I guess these games, they're going to have to get up to speed. They take on Washington next. Speaking of guys who are hurt with their hitting a helmet, it looks like, we'll see if Wentz can answer the bell there. And then Green Bay after that, they're at Buffalo.
Ouch.
Yeah, ouch. Home for Dallas in Week 10 at Detroit. You never know if Detroit gets healthy and starts playing like they did in September.
4 points, yeah. The team in the NFC now isn't so much a
short week.
Cowboys and Packers.
A short
it's the
week
Eagles.
against the Titans and Derrick Henry coming down at them. They're at Philadelphia.
Yeah, the Eagles. I mean, they're going to be favored in every game they play. I mean, people are going to start talking about undefeated season with them because their next 3 games they should win easily.
You're talking about the Eagles,
Eagles,
right?
yeah.
What about the Giants? Can you put the Giants schedule up here as well? Thank you, Mr. Hoskins. Because the Giants are now 5-1 after yesterday's win. I know you were like, hey, man, the Green Bay Packers should have had a bye week and taken a bye week after London. The Giants said no, and they beat the Ravens.
Yep.
Their only loss is that Monday nighter at home against Cooper Rush in Dallas. They're at Jacksonville, at Seattle before a bye. Home for Houston, home for Detroit, and then there's the Thanksgiving game at Dallas that the whole country will be pulling up a chair for.
Wow.
And the 2 games against Philadelphia, the first one is at home on December 11th, last game of the year in Week 18 at Philadelphia.
Here's the thing, Giants. I don't want to rain on your parade or anything like that.
Here comes the rain.
Brian Dable should be mentioned now for Coach of the Year.
No doubt.
Every one of their 6 games has been down to the last possession. Every single one of the games, and they have been, call it good enough or lucky enough or opportunistic enough to win those games. They're 5-1. I mean, they could be 6-0 or 0-6. I mean, that's how close these games have been.
Yes.
Knock on wood, Saquon's healthy, right? It's been a pleasure just watching him back in the league, right? And Dable's getting the most out of Daniel Jones. He's not turning it over. He's not throwing for a lot of yards. He's just kind of using his legs and managing games and doing, their receiving core is like, who are they? I mean, they're just winning with grit and with not screwing it up and taking advantage. They should have lost that game to the Ravens, right? The Ravens blew that game. But kudos to the Giants because, my God, who'd have thought they'd be 5-1 right now?
So, but you don't
They got Dallas again on Thanksgiving. You mentioned they got the Eagles twice again, and like I said, every game is going to be a close game. They're 1 injury or 2 injuries away from being a pretty darn average team. But
I think
keep it going, man. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Look, forget the division for the moment, obviously, if you want to, but I think this is a playoff team. I mean, you've got to sit here and say that they're going to make the playoffs. When you look at the rest of the NFC,
yes.
I mean, there's no winning teams in the NFC South right now.
Right.
Okay.
The best record's 3-3 over there.
Right. The Packers, who they've already beaten, are 3-3. And you take a look at the NFC West as well.
Yeah.
There's no winning teams in that division as well, or teams with winning records, obviously, is what I mean by saying not teams.
We've seen 3 teams come out of that division before, the NFC Beast, right? Mm-hmm. And it very well could happen again with the Eagles and Dallas and the Giants with a good record over Green Bay, or if the Vikings win that division. Oh, yeah.
Steve Mariucci here on the Rich Eisen Show. Here's a sports talk radio question. You could put your marker on one team in the NFC West. Who is it?
Niners.
You didn't stutter?
Not at all.
What happened yesterday, Steve?
They were missing half their defense, and all kinds of guys were in pajamas on the sidelines. I felt bad for them. But when they're healthy, they're a Super Bowl kind of team. I said it.
I agree with you. I agree with you.
Go to the preseason predictions. I picked Niners, Bills.
I know that.
Yeah. If they're healthy, I mean, we don't have any control over health of these guys, and so things change, like you saw.
But there was, they still had Debo, and they still had, Ayuk, who scored twice, and they still have Kittle, and they still have Jeff Wilson, and they don't have Trent Williams, but And
then McGlinchey came out hurt, and Elijah Mitchell's out, and then all their Bosa's out, and Ward and Mosley, and just
no,
on
they do
and
have a
on.
lot of injuries. I get it. I understand. Yeah. But you still
hey,
take
good for
him.
Marcus Mariota. Man, he looked like he can do this.
Yeah, he can.
Woo. Good for him.
I know that. So you're not concerned about the 49ers at all?
I'm concerned about their health, but if they get back healthy, and they're going to get some guys back here soon, then I think they're the team to beat.
What about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? You concerned about them at all?
Yeah, I think they're just.
You are.
I think they're just an average kind of team, little over average. They're probably a B team, B minus, and so there seems to be some frustration there. They've got musical chairs at wide receiver, and then I'd like to know what Tom was talking about when he was visiting with his offensive line. We have that.
Well, I think you
can kind of hear it. He just said you're so much bleeping better than how you're playing.
Is that what he said?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the most positive airing out, you could say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
right?
aggressive, but in the language, but it was
But they still
uplifting.
have enough juice to win that division.
But the
get
problem
is home game.
The one thing that you could say about the strength of the Steelers is those up front, the guys right in the middle up front.
You were going to say Trubisky.
No, I'm serious. I'm just saying it's the guys up front, right in the middle. And the Ravens are going to come to town on a Thursday night in a couple weeks. They got Calais and some big time players right up the middle. I mean, that's the problem is their protection of Brady and their ability to get anybody not named Lombardi Lenny running is a problem.
Yeah.
It's a major issue.
Yeah. I mean, all three of those guys, guard, center, and guard, are new guys, all right?
Right.
And then the backup got hurt. And
you see that with the Rams, too, right now.
When you don't have an offensive line, I don't care who's playing quarterback. It's hard. It's hard to run or pass or protect or have confidence that you can move 12 plays without a penalty or a sack. Yeah. So some of the good teams, who lost yesterday? These good quarterbacks, all these MVP guys lately, right? Aaron Rodgers lost, Brady lost, Lamar Jackson lost. Who's the other? Patrick Mahomes lost. All these guys that have been winning MVPs lost in the same day yesterday. That doesn't happen very often.
Andy Dalton,
there you go.
Hey, he's been balling out, man.
He's probably going to be the
might
starter.
Not get his gig back.
Yeah, exactly.
How about Taysom Hill?
Taste some of this. I know. But the Bengals, that was a big win for them. I mean, to me, they're still the team to beat in that division. I know the Ravens beat them on Sunday night. I still think they're the team to beat in that division.
Yeah, you mentioned earlier.
I think the Bengals,
with the Jamar Chase jersey.
Yeah.
I think that was his jersey that was like framed. It was like put up on the wall. It'd be like one of these things. You got stuff all over. Yeah, they took it out of the thing and let him wear it for the game.
Fantastic. All right, Mooch. Anything else you want to get off your chest? Anything at all?
Do I want to break any more secrets or anything?
I don't know. My gosh, spill more tea? I don't know.
Why not?
Well, do you want to? Last one. Do you need the phone to call your wife? Do you need it?
You have her number now.
I put it.
Wait, hold on. Let's FaceTime Gail.
Do you want to FaceTime Gail?
Come on.
Let's do it.
Yeah, if she.
Oh, wait, this is the one he chooses.
Yeah,
She
right.
might end up pissed. She might end up.
There we go.
pissed.
There she's. Well, she is in my phone. Did you
I
put
put
her
it in there yesterday.
Just in case you needed it again?
I still don't have my phone. I might need it right now.
All right, here we go. Let's FaceTime Gail Mariucci.
This is fantastic.
Here we go.
God.
I am very excited.
I am not taking
She could be
ownership
doing
of this
anything.
at all.
What is she doing
Don't
right now?
air this.
Do you know,
She might be
Mooch?
like,
We're doing it. Here we go. Let's see if she answers.
oh.
Oh, we got the doo-doo-doo.
It's ringing. There we go.
This is great. Will she answer?
Will she answer?
Does she
Will
know
Gail
that you're
Mariucci
on right
answer?
now, Mooch?
Definitely.
She knows.
Hey, Gail, it's Rich. We're on live television. How are you? Oh, you getting your hair done right now?
Oh, wow.
Oh, geez. Or should she be?
What's going on?
I am not on TV or your thing, right?
No, you're not. You are
Gail,
on. We can hear you. We can hear
you are live. Do not say anything crazy.
Oh, well, I'm definitely not gonna. Yes.
No, you're not on the air. You're not on TV. But I just want to make sure that is there, Steve, anything you want to say to her? Because again, you used my phone yesterday to contact your wife. Anything you need Gail to know right now?
I was a little shocked, Gail, that Rich did not have your phone in his storage.
Yeah,
Your
now
number.
I do.
Oh, now I'm terribly hurt.
Now, but you're in there now. I put it in.
I do have Susie's in mine though.
Okay.
I have Susie's in mine.
What's going on here? All right, Gail.
Yeah.
Is there anything pertinent you
Just
need your
tell her
wife
I
to know?
love her so much.
And I you, dear.
Okay, thanks, Gail. You take care. Okay, take it. All right, goodbye.
Hey, Jerry, we had
everything's good.
We had our 40th wedding anniversary. Can you imagine?
Hey!
We went up to Whitefish, Montana. We had the kids, the grandkids, everything, fishing, all that stuff. It was awesome.
Fantastic.
Yep.
Okay. Last one for you. Did you ever have a rookie hand you a ball he recovered on special teams like the rookie handed one to Belichick yesterday? Did you see that?
No, I didn't. What did you
see that? The rookie? What's his name again? Brandon Schooner? Is that his name?
No idea what his name is.
He's a rookie. On special teams, he recovers a muffed punt and brings the football to Belichick again, like like a dog would bring a present to his owner. And Belichick looks at him, and the assistant's trying to wave him off to try and head this off of the pass.
He thought Bill would just put that up in his office.
Do you remember what Bill did with the Hunt Trophy he got one year? He just handed it right to Jonathan Kraft.
You take it.
That's what he did yesterday. But the assistant's trying to ward it off, don't do that. Right in the middle of the game, Bill's got his headset on.
Oh my God. Crazy stuff.
So that never happened to you? No rookie ever came up to you, handed you a game ball in the middle of the game?
I don't remember a rookie recovering a fumble. I don't know.
That actually happens.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey,
thanks, Mooch.
Good seeing you. I'll see you soon.
All right. Yes.
All
I'll
right,
see you.
behave.
I'll see you
guys
next
behave
week,
too.
Steve, and that's
BJ.
the only thing I'm allowed to say. We'll
Fine,
see you next week and nothing else.
Fine.
All right. Very good.
One
Steve
week at a time.
Mariucci, everybody, right here on the Rich Eisen Show.